The Blitz, high school football from the field to your screen. Sponsored by Mocse Credit Union and KW Recovery Lab.
Welcome to The Blitz. I'm Frankie Tovar.
What's up? And I'm Eddie Ruiz.
And we have a great matchup for you because we have rivals clashing in the form of Hilmar High and Escalon High. It took place at the Cougars' home field, and it was a doozy. It went into overtime, but the Yellowjackets walked away with the victory, 20-17.
Yeah, and how about them Yellowjackets making us work late? Another long game.
Another one. The games are always long.
They're always long. A crazy deadline for me as well, but it was fun. It was maniacal. I kind of want to put it that way. 20-17 is just a crazy of a game. And check this out though, Hilmar, they managed to get 350 yards combined, and they held Escalon to 275.
And they split it evenly, 175 on the ground, 175 in the air. What a performance.
It was crazy, man.
What about Escalon though?
And then Escalon, obviously, like I said, it was 275 broken down, 194 rushing, and then 81 passing. So it was kind of limited, but a game that was choppy, man. We saw that. It was so physical, and I think the highlights are going to kind of explain it. I think
big hits, a lot of penalties, a lot of close calls, and overtime. What else can we say? So let's get right into it. The Friday night highlights.
Yeah, grab some popcorn and chill out. It's going to be a long one.
Hilmar with the first possession, and on their second play, junior quarterback Trevin Crowley makes a statement, a 71-yard statement in the form of a touchdown pass to Isaac Sharp, and I did the math. It only takes him 6 seconds to cross the end zone and put Hilmar up 7-0, but in true rival form, it doesn't take long for Escalon to respond. Despite a defensive stand from Hilmar, Escalon dials up a screen on 3rd and 20, and it pays off big time. That's Luciano Dutra connecting with Caden Christensen for 62 yards. He makes several Yellowjackets miss and is down at Hilmar's 28-yard line, setting up a 3-yard touchdown plunge from Luke Anderson to tie the game 7-7 with 5:46 left in the first quarter.
Dude, just like you said, Frankie, in true rival form, these teams are executing. They're going back and forth. As of right now, that's JR. Justin ran for a 14-yard pickup. And then Isaac Sharp, we know he's fast. We know he's quick. We know he can run. 14-yard pickup right there. And then just 2 plays later, Trevin Crowley, 25-yard touchdown. But there's going to be a flag, and they're going to call it back. No bueno. What's up, Richard, in the back? Yeah, what up, Estrada? But you're going to force him to punt. And we're going to show this punt for a very important reason because check this out right now. I mean, it's kind of fast.
Oh, my goodness.
It touched the Escalon player. So that's a touchdown. I'm assuming it's a touchdown, but wait a second. Frank Marcus is wondering what's going on because the refs are taking some time. Let's check it out.
He hits the one.
It touched him.
And then
that was still
Hilmar recovers. That should be a touchdown, right?
It could be a touchdown. Yeah,
but I don't think the refs are going to do that.
They're going to talk about it.
I don't know what's going on. Right?
Home field team. They get the call. So it's a touchback.
Several drives after that ref mistake, and the Cougars are at it with a Brian Hale run for 6. Then Anderson takes the handoff up the middle, runs through defenders, and picks up 15 yards before he caps off this 10-play drive with a 1-yard touchdown into a headstand. No extra points for style. Escalon is up 14-7.
So after that happened, it's a squib kick. Johnny Silvera off his chest, but he gets it all the way to the 50-yard line, which sets him up in pretty good territory, I think, right, to start things off. Check this out. Trevin Crowley connects with Noah Barcelos on the far end. That's a 12-yard pickup. Pretty nice grab, honestly. And then about, 6 plays later or so, check this out. Trevin Crowley, Aiden Azevedo, we're going to hear his name later on, by the way, 20-yard pickup. And then Brian Milan, 22-yard field goal, 14-10. Hilmar trails at the half.
And Escalon opens the second half with a powerful run from Caden Christensen, who picks up 18 yards off his lead blockers. That's followed by Luke Anderson, a man unafraid to run through the trenches. He picks up 15 with some spinning stuff that would make Nick Diaz angry, but by the end, it's 4th and 1, and Hilmar's D stands tall. They bring out the sticks, and the TOD is confirmed. But craziness persists on the very next play when Isaac Sharp takes the handoff and fumbles the ball away. Garrett Nash recovers for Escalon, and they take over on Hilmar's 8-yard line. He's so pumped up. Look at that guy.
Oh, my gosh. So it doesn't look good for Hilmar at this point. Escalon is at the 8-yard line, but the defense standing tall. That's 0 yards. Luke Anderson got 2 yards, by the way, on that one play. Then that is intentional grounding. So that sets him up back for a 42-yard field goal, but it's blocked. Brian Millen, Mian, we know the matter. You're the man. Awesome. Clutch. Hilmar takes over.
It's still a 4-point game as we jump to the final play of the third quarter, and it's Crowley with a 13-yard run. Look at that elusiveness. He's down at Escalon's 33-yard line, and 2 plays later, it's Crowley again, this time with a pass to Aiden Azevedo on the sideline. That's a 10-yard gain, and it sets up a 38-yard field goal attempt by Millen to tie the game. But it's no good. Escalon takes over on their 21.
Hilmar forces a 3-and-out though, so they get the ball right back. And check this out, Trevin Crowley, you're gonna see this a lot. Like I said, Aiden has veto again. That's a 17-yard pickup. Crowley has a veto again. This time, it's a 13-yard pickup. And then just one play later, check this out. He's going on the opposite end, but he's finding Isaac Sharp, 10-yard pickup. And then 2 plays later, we're gonna see it again, okay? Like I told you guys, get used to this. Crowley has a veto. It's a 6-yard touchdown, 7-14 with 4:23 left. But check this out.
Rewind that tape back.
Let's go
back.
Why? It's the play of the game! Clutch! Oh my!
And with the game on the line, Dutra decides to do it himself with a read option run to the far side of the field. He picks up 16 yards. The very next play, Christensen gets the call for the counter, and he picks up 11 yards. And then 4 plays after that, it's 4th and 3, and the Cougars are in desperation mode. That's a reverse from Anderson to Christensen that turns into a pass to Dutra, and it's good for 11 yards, setting up a 37-yard field goal attempt to tie the game. He kicks it, it sails through the uprights, and it sends the game into overtime, 17-17. These two teams want more playing time.
So check this out. This is just craziness, madness, but Escalon getting nothing. Hilmar's defense coming up clutch, back-to-back, 0 yards. That's what they got on this possession, literally. And then here's a 41-yard attempt around there. No bueno! Hilmar has a chance to win it. Oh my!
They have a chance and they want to seize the moment. Crowley picks up 8 yards on this run and he gets out of bounds. And then he rolls to his left on the very next play and picks up another 6. But Hilmar, eventually, high drama, 4th down. Miguel Padilla, first varsity field goal attempt ever.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he nails it.
Oh
my
my
goodness, from 33 yards out, Hilmar has won 20-17. They're now 1-1 in the TVL.
Whoa, dude, sorry, man. I'm just catching my breath over here because that was craziness.
That was a
lot
long
of talking.
highlight section,
Woo.
but I don't think we're anywhere near as tired as those players were after that game.
No, that's good.
Important to note, Escalon's first loss of the season. I'm sure Hilmar was happy to hand that to them. And then Hilmar, they bounced back after their first loss of the season against Ripon. So great job to both teams, even though Escalon fell short. But hey, I'm sure you guys will be back. But before we move forward with the show and talk more about these two teams, let's recognize our sponsors, Mocse Credit Union and KW Recovery Lab. You know, Eddie, summer's almost over, and I was thinking about buying a boat to enjoy the water, but I need insurance. Where should I go?
Mocse Credit Union on Gear. Check them out if you need a toy loan, auto loan, home loan, any sort of loan. Check them out on Gear Road and let them know that the Blitz, Frankie and Eddie sent you. Hey Frankie, if you need to recover from any sort of physical activity at all, where should you go, man?
You mean like after playing a football game?
Yes.
Well, you should go to KW Recovery Lab in Turlock because they have everything you need to recover in style, Normatec technology, ice baths, and cryotherapy. That's the stuff Joe Rogan talks about. You can find them here in Turlock, and every player, if you buy one session, you get the second one half off. You got to do it. KW Recovery Lab, recover as hard as you train.
That's right! All right, so when you take a look at the stats now, okay, for Hilmar, Isaac Sharp, obviously this kid's always getting a lot of yards. If he was playing fantasy football, it'd be a lot of points. But 169 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. That looked good.
And another player who looked fantastic was Aiden Azevedo. You said he looked like Jordy Nelson. I have to agree. Hey, I'm a Raiders fan, even though we're not doing so good. But I digress. He was catching those passes on the sideline and really bailing out Hilmar on a consistent basis. 5 catches, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown. And that touchdown was the play of the game, so it was a good one to have.
Yeah, it was. And then take a look at Trevin Crowley, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in a minute.
The
quarterback
first
for Hilmar.
league start.
Exactly, which is crazy to think about, right? 211 all-purpose yards, 36 rushing, 175 passing. He had those 2 touchdowns, which were huge for Hilmar.
And we got to give credit to Escalon as well, especially with Anderson, Christensen, and Dutra, the 2 running backs and the quarterback. They performed really, really well, and they almost pulled off the victory against Hilmar.
Yeah, it's crazy because he's a sophomore, by the way. He had 25 carries for 117 yards. He's a sophomore, by the way. I got to repeat that because that was craziness. He wasn't playing like it, and he's a big boy. I think he could have trucked us without question. I'm just saying.
He kind of reminds me of JR Renfro from Hilmar. That's Escalon's version of Renfro. They were both running up the middle and running through multiple defenders as they gained yardage. But of all those players who did really well, it was one player who was the KW Recovery Lab Impact Player of the game, and it's the quarterback, Trevin Crowley, the junior.
It's a big game. I feel really good about it. You know, it's a team effort, and it was a great game to win. You know, it's a big game. It's a rivalry game. I couldn't be any more happier about it. Last year, we played them in the playoffs to go to the section finals, and we beat them by a field goal, the same thing. But it wasn't in overtime, but it's still a great feeling because it's the same kids and everything. I got my shot, and now I'm ready to move on forward and play in other league titles. To deal with the kick, you know, is amazing. You know, couldn't ask anymore for that. You know, it's crazy. You wouldn't expect that in overtime against Escalon. Well, this is a big win because now us three, you know, Escalon, Ripon, you know, they're two like caliber teams that are really good. You know, Ripon we lost. Now we have a chance to win the TVL maybe for a tie or something. I'm just waiting for MC though. MC is gonna be another challenge. Next week we have Powder Puff, so you know we just buy off. You know, we just have a bye. So I'm just gonna be coaching the girls, but we're gonna practice hard and you know move on forward. Play against Houston. Houston, it should be pretty good. Thank you, KW Recovery Lab, for this. You know, it means a lot. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Trevin. I hope you recover in style at KW Recovery Lab. And as he mentioned, Hilmar has a bye next week, so they're not playing anybody. They have time to recover and rest and get ready for their third TVL match of the season. Escalon, they're getting ready for their second TVL match of the season against Modesto Christian after suffering their first loss of the season.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough game.
It will be a tough game, and we're going to be at another tough game next week. Another team coming off a bye this time, Pittman High. Oh my goodness, Eddie. We're covering the Pride once again. Their first ever game in the CCAL against Mocse High.
Yeah, I'm hoping and expecting to see another Pride victory, but let's keep it simple and straight to the point. They need to run the ball. That's what they do, and then train fair. Do work.
I gotta say though, they've done some really great things through the air. So you know, I think they seem to be balanced. Balance is the key word. Again, they're 5-0, undefeated, taking on a 2-3 Enox team. So we're excited to see how it shakes out. They're on the road in their first CCAL game of the season. Again, it's going to be exciting. You can find that at turlockjournal.com, and you can find all the previews and other extra content online on social media at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Turlock Journal. So until next week, when we cover the Pride versus Enox, I'm Frankie Tovar.
I'm Eddie Ruiz.
Good night.